Welcome back to another English online session. Today, I am going to narrate the summary of the poem A Photograph from the text Hornbill. The poem Photograph is a tribute to poet's mother. Three stages of time span is focused here. First, the poet's mother's enjoyment of sea holidays with her cousins. The second stage takes us 20 or 30 years later. The third stage, the poet remembers her dead mother with a heavy heart. This poem was written by Shirley Toulson. She was a poet, teacher, educational journalist, and an editor, and the author of books about walks along the ancient tracks and roads of Britain. She had a huge passion on writing and greatly influenced by her father, who was a writer too. Photographs plays a vital role in preserving memories. After some years, when you take a look at your old pictures, it brings a lot of memories. The same way here, the poet is looking at a photograph. The poet is looking at an old photo album which is made up of cardboard. There are three girls who are walking on the beach holding each other's hand. The girl in the middle is the tallest and oldest. The other two girls on each side are younger than her. The girl in the middle is the poet's mother. She is around 12 years old when the picture was taken. Here, the poet is taking the photograph of her mother and looking at it, and she is giving some details about the poet's mother. The poet describes how the photograph was taken. Her mother's uncle took the photograph and told them to stop and pose. All three of them left their wet hair open and smiled at the camera. The poet's attention is drawn towards his mother's face, which is described as a sweet face. The photograph was taken long before the poet was born. The poet calls their feet terrible transient, as they are so young by then and now they had grown older. On the other hand, the sea which touched their feet has changed less. Here, the poet's mother's life changed a lot, but the seashore didn't change much. So, in our life, changes are inevitable and very quickly changes occur. This is what the poet wants to understand us from these lines. Now the poet is describing about the second stage. After 20 to 30 years later, she here, the poet's mother, she would laugh at the photograph. She would tell me to look at her cousins Betty and Dolly and how their parents would dress all three of them up for the beach. They would have planned to take a photograph beforehand. So she is telling us that her mother used to describe her about that particular day. They are planned for take a photograph, and she laughed at the way these mother and her cousins dressed, and she just recollect all the memories, all the incidents happen on that particular day. The poet recalls the sea holiday was her mother's favorite moment from the past, while the poet's favorite moment from the past was her mother's laughter. Both the women would think about those past memories which they cannot live again. They tried their best to adjust to what they lost. Memories always gives us a missing feeling, nostalgic feeling, especially the happy moments we spent. Here, the laughter of poet's mother is a happy moment for the poet, and for the poet's mother, the holiday she spent on the beach is happy moments. Both of them just try to adjusting here that understanding that they cannot live those moments again, but nostalgically they are recollecting and being happy with that. Now, the third stage, the poet says that her mother died 12 years ago, the same age her mother was in the photograph. Whenever the poet thinks of her mother's death, she cannot explain what effect she has of her mother's death. Death has silenced her mother, which has also left her speechless. Here in the third stage, the poet is telling us nearly 12 years back, her mother was passed away. Here, the silence of her mother silenced her also. She is very painfully remembering her mother in the third stage. Now, let's see the poetic devices or literary devices used in this poem. The first one is alliteration. Alliteration means a repetition of a consonant sound at the beginning of two or more consecutive words. The instance of alliteration in the poem are as follows. Stood still. If you look at these two words, the first letter of the word start with the yes. It is a consonant sound. In the same way, look at the other words. Through there, both words starts with the T, the consonant sound. And the next word is my mother's, terribly transient, silence, silences. All these words starts with the same consonant sounds. Terribly transient starts with the T, and silence, silences starts with the yes. So in the same line, two words starts with the same consonant sound. We can confirm that it is alliteration. The next one is oxymoron, a term which contradicts itself. Here, two different opposite terms combined together, labored. It's like a struggling. Is here comfort. So if two contradicting words used together, it is known as oxymoron. The third one is epithet, which means a phrase expressing a quality of a person or something. Here, this footprints, it's expressed here as temporary by the use of terribly transient. So, this is the use of epithet. I hope you understood the summary of this poem. Now, read the text. Don't forget to have a dictionary while reading. See you in the next class. Bye.